Hello everyone and welcome to my TBR for December. Whoa, last month of 2023. So in December, yeah, so this will be the first round of my winter Cat-Walk TBR board. I'm excited to get into this one. And so December tends to be very busy. The busyness is increasing. I do work in retail, so the busyness is increasing with it being November and everyone's a lot of people starting their Christmas shopping. So it's not only busy due to the Christmas holiday season, there's also, I know Hanukkah is also going to be occurring. I'm not sure of any other holidays other than obviously New Year's, but the other major event in December is my birthday. So December tends to be pretty busy with the holiday, my birthday, and it just being retail holiday season. So with Christmas, my birthday, and all that. I am gonna be 40. Wow, yeah. Anyway. 'Tis life keeps moving forward, doesn't it? Anyway, okay, so let's go ahead and get into the rolls. As a reminder, I do start out with 5 rolls. We also will draw some color postcards so that whatever prompt I get, I need to try to get that color. If I can't find that color on a book that fulfills that prompt, it splits. So the book fulfills the prompt, and then a book that fulfills the color. If I don't have a book that fulfills that color, then there's a third book that has to be pulled, which is the punishment book. Starting out with 5 rolls, there are chances to get punishment rolls. I never punish myself for not completing my TBR. Today is November 11th. I have 5 more books on my TBR, and they're all fairly short, like less than 350 pages, definitely less than 400 pages. So I do think I will actually be able to finish my November Cat-Walk TBR. I am happy about that. So, without further chit-chat, let's go ahead and delve right into the rolls and see what I'll be reading. Okay, so first things first is we need to figure out what spot we'll be starting on. So I have 30, right? Yes, 30 spots. Okay, let's figure out where I will be starting. On 27. Okay, and then we're using this colored magnet. So 27, right there. Now, with this being a new season board, I do have my notebook. I am going to keep every season board at 30 prompts so that there's always the chance that, I'm trying to make sure you can see the whole board, yeah. So the numbers from the previous board will roll over from season to season. So there's always a chance I could start off with a so-called punishment. Okay, roll number 1. Got a 6 and a 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Caroling. Okay, that is spot number 5. Caroling. So fall prompts, winter prompts. Oh, okay. So caroling is a random song generator. Okay. Okay, so a random... Okay, so I have a bunch of random generators here. Random song. Here we go. I'm not going to play the song, but I will tell you, and I will list in the description box, the title of the song and the author that comes up. So, oh, I can choose a decade. I'm going to switch to all songs. Okay. All right. Okay. It is, I'm just zooming in, IDGAF featuring Yeat by Drake. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but that is the song that came up. So I will have a listen to that and see kind of what book I have that fills either the title, maybe the author has that name or something. Okay, now the other thing we need to do is I need to pick or draw a random color. So, all right. This just, there we go. Okay, we're going to shuffle just a little bit. Okay, so the song that needs to come, or the color that needs to accompany prompt 1 is, oh, this is kind of a pale green. So the color is 12-0524 Citron. So that's the color I need to try to get. Okay, so I've zoomed in a little bit for the books so that you can see the cover a little bit better. All right, so for roll number 1, random song was IDGAF featuring Yeat by Drake. And the color that was selected or randomly drawn was number 12-0524 Citron. So I listened to IDGAF, I don't give a, and not my taste in music. So I'm just going with the I don't give a F type of a thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Viral Nation by Shaunta Grimes. And this color is in the shading of the sky and all of that. So it is in there. It says, after a virus claimed nearly in the entire global population, the world changed. The United States splintered into 50 walled cities, where the surviving citizens clustered to start over. The company, which ended the plague by bringing a life-saving vaccine back from the future, controls everything. So we've got time travel. Let's see. They ration the scant food and supplies through a lottery system, mandate daily doses of virus suppressant, and even monitor future timelines to stop crimes before they can be committed. Brilliant, and this has autism rep. Brilliant but autistic 16-year-old Clover Donovan has always dreamed of studying at the Waverly Stead Academy. Her brother and caretaker, West, has done everything in his power to make her dream a reality. But Clover's refusal to part with her beloved service dog denies her entry into the school. Instead, she is drafted into the Time Marines, a team of company operatives who travel through time to gather news about the future. When one of Clover's missions reveals that West's life is in danger, the Donovans are shattered. To change West's fate, they'll have to take on the mysterious company. But as its secrets are revealed, they realize that the company's rule may not be as benevolent as it seems. In saving her brother, Clover will face a more powerful force than she ever imagined, and will team up with a band of fellow misfits and outsiders to incite a revolution that will change their destinies forever. So the reason why I'm saying this fits the I don't give a F, IDGAF, is because when there's a revolution, I mean, people care, but they don't give a F who they have to step over sometimes. But mostly I'm saying this is because it's a company, they don't GAF for people's welfare a lot of the time. They're all about the money, so they're all about the power, and they don't care, they don't GAF who they hurt in the process to get what they want. So that's how I'm saying that fits. So Viral Nation by Shaunta Grimes. Okay. Roll number 2. Okay, I've got a 5 and a 4. So 9 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Datetime. Is that a romance? I don't remember. Okay, so that is spot... Okay, first sophomore, I've still got the winter prompts here. Datetime. I'm looking for it. Oh, it is not a romance. I mean, it could be, but it doesn't have to be, but... Okay. So Datetime is right here, and as you can see, it is 2 or more people on the cover. Okay, and that is spot number 14, and that's the first time ever landing on square 14, no matter the season. All right, now for the color. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. So this is kind of a peach, but it says it's Winter Wheat is the name of that particular color. So 2 people on the cover that have this color on there. So for Datetime, it is to read a book that has 2 or more people on the cover. This was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. A lot of the books I have, especially I was thinking like romance for this one, were either objects on the cover, maybe 1 person on the cover for a lot of the genres, but I did find one. And the color that I drew for this one was Winter Wheat. So kind of a peachy color. I'm going to go with The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood as far as the color goes. Yeah, it's in their skin tones, so yeah. Okay, it says, as a 3rd-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing Anne that Olive is dating and well on her way to a happily ever after was always going to take more than hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof. So, like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. And when a big science conference goes haywire, putting Olive's career on the Bunsen burner, Adam surprises her again with his unyielding support and even more unyielding 6-pack abs. Suddenly, their little experiment feels dangerously close to combustion, and Olive discovers that the only thing more complicated than a hypothesis on love is putting her own heart under the microscope. Okay, roll number 3. Got a double, so we're doing 6 prompts instead of 5 because I got 2 6s, so we're moving 12 spots. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Valentine's Day. And the winter board covers from December to February. Okay, this is square number 26. First tally on that. And then Valentine's Day is a romance, because that's the day of love. Now the color, which I'm kind of hoping is a pink, because that tends to be a common color on a lot of the romances. Definitely some kind of a pastel, if not the pink, but I don't know, we'll see. Let's go with this one. Oh, no, I'm going with the chocolatey brown. Number 476 is the color. Okay, so for Valentine's Day, this is to read a book that is a romance, and the color that I ended up drawing is number 476, so it's this brown color. This one I'm going with a book that has been on a couple of previous TBRs, and I just have not gotten to it, so I hope to get to it for this one, and that is The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. It's her hair that matches, so far I haven't had to split anything. I am happy about that. Let's see. Shay Goldstein has been a producer at her Seattle public radio station for nearly a decade, and she can't imagine working anywhere else. But lately, it's been a constant clash between her and her newest colleague, Dominic Yoon, who's fresh off a journalism master's program and convinced he knows everything about public radio. When the struggling station needs a new concept, Shay proposes a show that her boss greenlights with excitement, the X Talk. Two exes will deliver relationship advice live on air. Their boss decides Shay and Dominic are the perfect co-hosts, given how much they already despise each other. Neither loves the idea of lying to listeners, but it's this or unemployment. Their audience gets invested fast, and it's not long before the X Talk becomes a must-listen in Seattle and climbs podcast charts. As the show gets bigger, so does their deception, especially when Shay and Dominic start to fall for each other. In an industry that values truth, getting caught could mean the end of more than just their careers. So hopefully I'll actually be able to get to it this month. We'll see. Part of it will depend on my mood and if I'm wanting to pick it up. Kind of neutral right now. Okay. Number 4. All right, we got a 5 and a 2. So 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Christmas tree. Okay, so Christmas tree is right here, and that is to read a book that has a plant on the cover. So there's a telly there. And then that is box number 3. Okay, first time landing in that particular square. So, all right, and now for the color. Maybe that brown on the previous, no, I'm not gonna say. Okay, now for the color. Let's just go with this one. Okay, so kind of another different shade of a peach. Number 4685. So Christmas tree is to read a book that has a plant on the cover. And for the color that I drew, it is number 4685, which is this kind of a peachy color. So for this one, I decided to go with a book that has been on at least one previous TBR, if not more. And I'm going with a cozy mystery, and that is Death in Dark Blue. I'm holding it at a little bit of an angle because otherwise you're getting the ring light glare. So, Death in Dark Blue by Julia Buckley. This is book number 2 in a Writer's Apprentice mystery series. Yeah, now as far as the color, there is a knitted or crocheted, it's not a doily, but it's like bigger than a doily. It's a tablecloth type of a thing, but this color is definitely, it's hard to see, but it is in there. So yeah, that's what I am going with on this one. I will read the back of this, even though it is a continuation of a series, because cozy mysteries, you can generally read them in any order. I do recommend reading the first one first before you start going out of order. That's my personal recommendation because you're getting more character development. But it says, things are beginning to go right for Lena. She's got a new job assisting suspense novelist and friend Camilla Graham. She lives rent-free in Camilla's beautiful Gothic house. She even has a handsome new boyfriend, Sam West. After being under attack by the media and his neighbors, Sam has recently been cleared of suspicion for murder. Journalists and townsfolk alike are remorseful, and one blogger would even like to apologize to him in person. But when she's found dead behind Sam's house, Lena must dodge paparazzi as she unravels the many mysteries that threaten to darken the skies of her little town and her newfound love with Sam. So, Death in Dark Blue. Okay, so now we're on roll number 5 to figure out the 5th prompt. This would have been the last, but because of that double, it is not. Okay, so we have a 6 and a 5, so 11 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Date time again. So that is spot number 14. And Okay, so date time. And where this is a double prompt in the game, that means there is an additional roll. So we're now up to 7. And before we go on to the next roll, need the color. So kind of a yellowy mimosa is the shade for this one. So for this roll, with it being date time, again, it is 2 or more people on the cover. The difference with this one is the color. I drew a yellow and this one is mimosa. So for this book that has 2 or more people on the cover, I'm going with Witchlings Volume 2, written by Claribel A. Ortega. And this is the Golden Frog Games. As far as the mimosa colors, there is yellow on here, and it's hard to see with the ring light, but like there's lines, I can't really even see those, but there's lines that shoot out from the biggest star here, and this color is in there, is in the yellow of that magical starburst. So this one says, it's time for the 12 Towns Legendary Magical Tournament, the Golden Frog Games. With Ravenskill hosting this year's games, all eyes are on the now famous Witchling Spares, Seven Salazar, Valley Pepperhorn, and Thorn LaRue. Thorn is ready to compete as a fashion champion until a forbidden hex is used to turn her teammate to stone. Suspicion quickly falls on Thorn and her friends, but as the Witchlings attempt to unravel the mystery and more witches fall victim to the stone hex, they start to realize that Thorn may be the hexer's true target. Meanwhile, Seven is harboring a dangerous secret. She's supposed to be able to communicate with animals, but the voices she hears most, clearly belong to Monstruosos. The spine-chilling voice of the deadly night beast is the loudest of all. Can Seven fix her broken magic and find out who is stonifying the champions before Thorn becomes the next victim? And this is middle grade, and I absolutely loved the first one. And Claribel Ortega has now become an author I want all of her work for. So, yes. Okay. All right, we're on roll number 6. So we have a 5 and a 4. So I'm moving 9 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Goal setting. Oh, all right. Goal setting is a random word generator because you have to use your words to set the goal. Oh, and I almost forgot to mark the square that we landed on, which is number 23. So we are right down here, 23. Okay. All right, let me pull up a random word generator. I'm going to get rid of the random song. Go to my generators. Random word generator is right here. Okay, so loaded on slot. I got to make sure I'm going to click the right there. Okay, so the word is isolation. I can probably work with that. So isolation is the random word. Okay, now for the color to go with that. Another yellow. This one is number 394. Okay, so for goal setting, this is to read a book that I'm able to fit with a word that is randomly generated. So for this one, as you will have seen, I ended up with the word isolation. So the color that I ended up drawing is this yellow, which is number 394. So the book that I am choosing that goes with actually both the word and the color is Fever 1793 by Laurie, Halse, Anderson. So this yellow is mostly in the wording here, Fever. It's harder to see with the ring light, but yeah, no, it matches the text on the cover. As far as isolation, it's an outbreak. And we all know with the recent pandemic that we had, you isolate when you get sick. So it says, during the summer of 1793, Maddie Cook lives above the family coffee shop with her widowed mother and grandfather. Maddie spends her days avoiding chores and making plans to turn the family business into the finest Philadelphia has ever seen. But then the fever breaks out. Disease sweeps the streets, destroying everything in its path and turning Maddie's world upside down. After her feverish mother's insistence, Maddie flees the city with her grandfather. But she soon discovers that the sickness is everywhere, and Maddie must learn quickly how to survive in a city turned frantic with disease. So you're trying to isolate so you don't make people sick. You're trying to stay isolated so you don't get sick. That's why I'm saying that fits. Okay. All right, is this going to be the last roll? No, it is not, because we got doubles, 2 3s. So 6 spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Date time. Okay, this is the 3rd time date time has popped up, but we don't need to worry about adding a prompt, only if it comes up a 4th time. Okay, so this one is square number 29. First tally for that one. Oop. All right, date time. That's the 3rd mark there. All right, now for the color. I'm gonna have a lot of books with people on the cover this go around. Okay, so this is like a really pale pastel green. It's hard to see, but it's like a pastel green. 9041 is the color. So the 3rd date time. This, again, 2 or more people on the cover. And the color that I ended up drawing is number 9041, which is this very faint pastel type of a green color. And I'm going to go with Beyond the Point. As you can see, I got this one from Book of the Month a while ago. I don't remember when. Oh, April 2019. So as far as the color goes, there's this island, these ladies, looks like ladies. Anyway, they're on this bench looking out across the ocean, the lake or whatever. There's this mountain, and then so again, it's hard to see, but in the mountain and in the shading of stuff, this is on the cover. So far I have not had to split the color. I am very happy right now. So Beyond the Point by Gibson. This is a little bit thicker of a book. This is over 400 pages. 493. So just shy of the 500 page mark. Let's see. Duty, honor, country. Every cadet who passes through West Point's stone gates vows to live by these words. On the eve of 9/11, as Danny, Hannah, and Avery face the years ahead, they realize they'll only survive if they do it together. With athletic talent and a brilliant mind, Danny navigates West Point's predominantly male environment with wit and confidence, breaking racial stereotypes and embracing new friends. Hannah lets faith and family honor guide her. When she meets her soulmate at West Point, the future looks perfect, just as planned. With child, Avery doesn't mind breaking a few rules and hearts along the way, but she can't outpace her self-doubt, and the harder she tries, the further it leads her down a treacherous path. After graduation, the world of business, of love, and of war awaits Danny, Hannah, and Avery beyond the gates of West Point. But as they are pulled in different directions, will their hard-forged bond prevail or shatter? So I couldn't remember what this was about. I'm looking at the cover. I was kind of like, not feeling it. But after reading that synopsis, I am intrigued again. So because obviously I would not have selected it from Book of the Month if I wasn't intrigued, and now my intrigue just peaked again. So yes, so this will work for the 2 or more people because there are 3 people on the cover. Okay. All right. Roll number 8. Okay, so not a double. Moving 8 spots for roll number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. New Year, and it is not a double prompt. I don't remember what New Year is supposed to be though. Okay, so New Year. Okay, so this is to read a book that is part of a series. So. Oh, and that is square number 7. So no additional rolls. All right, the last thing to do for this prompt is to get the color. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. All right, a yellow heavy month. This one is 605. All right, and what was thankfully the last roll ended up on New Year, and this is to read a book that is part of a series. Could be the start of a series, end of a series, continuation of a series, whatever it is, it's part of a series. And the color that I ended up drawing is a yellow, and that is number 605. The book that I am going will actually complete a trilogy, so it is part of a series. And I'm going to go with this chunker, A Time of Courage by Gwynne. I can't tell you anything about this particular one because it is the 3rd, and I don't want to spoil anything. For this one, it's good versus evil, think Vikings, and it does get very gory because it is very war-inspired. You also have worms or wyverns or whatever they're called in this as well. Good versus evil, and it's told from multiple POVs, generally at least 5. We have Bleda again, Fritha, Bleda again, Drem, Riv, yeah. So there's at least 4 or 5 POVs in this. Did I just miss one? Nope, that's Drum again. So yeah, I am going to go with this one, and 674 pages, but I absolutely love Gwynne's writing. So this is book number 3, and it is the final book in Of Blood and Bone. There is a series that you need to read before this series, and it is the Faithful and the Fallen series, and there's 4 or 5. 4 books, it looks like. That series takes place prior to the events of this, and there are some characters from the Faithful and the Fallen series that actually are in this series. So again, you need to read the Faithful and the Fallen series before you read this one. Now, as far as the color goes, as you can see, there is fire around this axe, and at some points, it's hard to see with this because it's mostly the orange that you're seeing, but this yellow is in the fire down here. So it is in there. It's like one little spot, but I'm saying that counts because it is on the cover. There's also yellow writing on the back that is very similar, if not and pretty exact match to that. So yeah, that's the last book. So these are the 8 books because I ended up with 8 rolls, and I did not have to split any of these for a book to fulfill the prompt and then the color. So this could easily have gone to 16 if I couldn't find a book that fit the prompt and the color. So it definitely could have been split, but thankfully I didn't have to split the color and the prompt. So just 8 books. Granted, I have a couple of chunkers on here. A Time of Courage by Gwynne is the thickest book on here, and it'll be the most dense because it is a high epic fantasy. So that's it. Let me know. Have you read any of these books? Have you read from any of these authors? If you were playing this game and got one of these prompts, is there a book that you own that you would be like, that's the book to fit that prompt perfectly? So yes, talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.